Guys, the NHL season is so close. It is right around the corner. So we're going to do a quick breakdown of each division in the NHL today. We're going to start with the Pacific Division. Before I give my predictions on where I think these teams will finish this season, I'm going to do a quick breakdown of each team individually in alphabetical order to not give away the order in which I think they will finish at the end of the season. Let's start with the Anaheim Ducks, who have Randy Carlyle back behind the bench, although I don't think that's going to make them much of a better team. Up front, the Anaheim Ducks got rid of a lot of depth scoring guys like Perron, Peary, Santorelli, Horkoff, and who they replaced that with? Mason Raymond. You can always count on Getzlaf and Perry to get points, and Nick Ritchie should make the team. He'll provide some offense. If this team wants to compete for a Stanley Cup, they're going to need to acquire some more depth scoring, and my way to do that is to trade Cam Fowler. Cam Fowler is a great defenseman on a defensive roster that is filled with upcoming stars. I think it would not hurt the Anaheim Ducks too much to move him for a guy who can put the puck in the back of the net. And like I just said, this defensive unit is really young, but they did allow the least amount of goals in the NHL last season. The challenge facing Randy Carlyle is to give this team more offense without sacrificing their amazing defense. In net, the Anaheim Ducks traded away Frederik Andersen to the Toronto Maple Leafs this summer, and a couple weeks later they acquired Jonathan Bernier from the Toronto Maple Leafs to be their new backup. Now, if John Gibson can stay healthy all season and play 60 or 65 games this year, I think they won't have any problem with Bernier if he's only playing 15 to 20 games. Now to the Arizona Coyotes, who have been rebuilding for the past few years, but now they can continue the rebuild with focusing on trying to win more and more games each season. The Coyotes will definitely have a more skilled offensive unit this year. Domi and Duclair will be better. Dylan Strome should be in the NHL this year. And they added Jamie McGinn to add some offensive punch and some grit to the team. For defense, I love the acquisition of both Goligoski and Luke Schenn. Goligoski is an amazing puck-moving defenseman who can really get the puck up to the young guys, and Luke Schenn will add some toughness to the top six. The goaltending does raise a bit of concern to me. Mike Smith is still their guy, but he's not nearly as good as he was a few years ago, and I don't think any of their backups are ready to take the next step to being a starting goalie in the NHL. I think that they should be on the market for a starting goaltender, a young one. Frederik Andersen would have been a great fit for them, but sadly the Toronto Maple Leafs snagged him up, and I ain't complaining. No new additions on the blue line for the Calgary Flames, but they do still have Giordano, Brody, and Hamilton. With a top three like that, I have no idea how they were so bad last season defensively. Hopefully with the new coach, their structure should be a lot better this year, and those top three defensemen will actually play like top three defensemen and help this team allow a lot less goals. They did add Troy Brouwer and Alex Chiasson this summer to give some offensive punch, but in all honesty, the defense was bad, but it wasn't god-awful. What was god-awful was the goaltending, and I definitely think the Calgary Flames have fixed their goaltending woes with the acquisition of Brian Elliott. For a while there, everybody thought the Calgary Flames would be going after Ben Bishop of the Tampa Bay Lightning, but Brian Elliott definitely did come cheaper, and he's still a solid goaltender. Then we got the Edmonton Oilers, who just made Connor McDavid the youngest captain in NHL history. Congratulations to him. He definitely deserved it. Todd McClellan got a chance to see just how captain-like material Connor McDavid was at the World Hockey Championships, and I guess he liked what he saw. It's Connor McDavid's second year in the NHL, and he's definitely a top 10 offensive player in the NHL. Actually, top 5 offensive player in the NHL. Add that with Jesse Puljujarvi and Milan Lucic, and this offensive group is a lot better than last year, even with Taylor Hall out of the picture. The Oilers went ahead and traded Taylor Hall to the New Jersey Devils for Adam Larsson, and even though I think that trade is so lopsided in favor of the New Jersey Devils, Adam Larsson will help this defensive group. In net, I definitely think that Cam Talbot is a number one goalie, and Jonas Gustafsson is a pretty good backup. For the Los Angeles Kings, they signed Teddy Purcell this offseason, and I think that was one of the more under-the-radar signings this offseason. I really like that one. He's a great two-way forward who definitely plays the way the LA Kings want players to play, and he can still score some goals. The defense is tremendous, and they do have possibly the best defender in the world, Drew Doughty. Jonathan Quick is still a top 10 goalie in the NHL, and I think Jeff Zadkov is a good choice to be his backup. One of the reasons the San Jose Sharks lost in the finals last year was because the Pittsburgh Penguins were too fast for them. So, this offseason, the Sharks went out and they signed Michael Bodker, a speedy winger. He was pretty good on an Arizona team who hasn't been the greatest offensively the past few years. I'm excited to see how many goals he can score with a good offensive unit. Defensively, they're about the same as they were last year, and last year was pretty good defensively. They did add David Schlemko, who might play a top 6 role on this defensive unit. And last season, Martin Jones proved to everybody that he is not only a starting goalie, he might be an elite goaltender. He played phenomenal in the playoffs for the Sharks last year. And finally, for the Vancouver Canucks, the Sedin twins aren't getting any younger. They should still be in the decline offensively, but they're still fairly good offensive players. They might get a chance to play with Louis Eriksson this year, who the Vancouver Canucks signed on July 1st, and that might help them out a bit. Defensively, they added Erik Gudbranson, who is a little bit underrated in my mind. I think he's a very solid top 4 defenseman. In net, Ryan Miller is still the Vancouver Canucks guy, even though he's been on a bit of a decline ever since he got to Vancouver. Those are my quick takes on the 7 teams in the Pacific Division, and now for my predictions on where they will finish. Coming in 7th in the Pacific Division, which is a nice way of saying you're dead last, is the Vancouver Canucks. Arizona is still in the rebuilding phase, and I believe they will be finishing 6th in the Pacific Division, and for 5th, I believe it will be the Calgary Flames. Isn't that a surprise? I said the bottom 3 teams in the Pacific Division, and the Edmonton Oilers weren't one of them, because that's right, I predict they will be coming 4th. I think Connor McDavid is going to have a tremendous offensive season. I think Milan Lucic is going to bring an amazing amount of leadership to this team. And I definitely think that Adam Larson will help out with the defense. But I don't think 4th place is going to be good enough to be getting them a wild card spot. The top 3 in each division are all playoff teams no matter what. And in 3rd place, I have the Anaheim Ducks because I just don't think they have enough offense to beat out both the LA Kings and the San Jose Sharks. Now in 2nd place, I have the losers of the Stanley Cup Finals last season, the San Jose Sharks. Which means I have the LA Kings coming in 1st place in the Pacific Division. I love the way this team plays. I think Jonathan Quick's going to have an amazing season in net if he can stay healthy. Anyways, guys, that's my preview of the Pacific Division. Thank you very much for watching. Please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me. Please like my page on Facebook. It's all about hockey. It's called The Hockey Gods, and the link to it is down below. And please email me if you have any questions or if you just want to talk hockey or have any opinions on what I said in this video to theshanaclan19@gmail.com. And I will see you guys back here when we preview the Central Division.